35 hours features Milazi MP, Miss Melesiana Piri, join host Ndovi as he brings out real issues from your constituency. MP's Diary, every Thursday on Parliament Radio and Television. MP's Diary, bringing real issues from your constituency.
This month, we're cooking up a storm. King Katumba spices it up as he sets his sights on the villages of Ubuntu. Then, secrets and hidden agendas are a melting pot for chaos in Pali. And we join our favorite hostesses who stir up a blend of exciting conversations. Then Sita's marriage ambition leaves everyone a little steamed. And music legends serve up their most exciting memories in music. And the royal clique turns up the heat and fires up the industry. We've got the recipe for the best local entertainment on Zambezi Magic. Channel 162 on DSTV, Channel 5 on GoTV.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir. Dragons. A power man should never have trifled with. War is afoot.
Knives will come out. They see you as you are.
Celebrated yet another day of national prayers. Today we look at stopping of buses, boarding and alighting of passengers. My guest is Mr. Peter Muliata. I'm your host, Julius Musmali. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Julius, and good morning, viewers.
Right, and thank you so much for joining us on all our platforms. At some point, we'll ask you to participate on this very important program. Our text line is 0978-772-801. That is 0978-772-801. for active calls, we invite you to, when we open our call lines, our call line is 0772 832-122, 0772-832-122, or you can drop us a message as you follow us on our Facebook page as well. Just before we look at today's topic, like always, Mr. Muliat, how safe have been our roads over the weekend, and yesterday was a public holiday?
Yeah, no, I think during the stated period we've had well, of course, a few isolated incidents, but generally it has been quiet.
No fatalities that have been recorded across the country, or something that of interest that we should maybe let the public know that we don't know?
Yeah, so far, I think when I was coming this morning, I tried to find out whether we had any fatality. Nothing has been brought my attention in far as the fatalities are concerned. Yeah.
Okay. But still, our roads are still not
generally
safe.
Well, they are safe, but also, like we said, it depends on how one is driving, because you know, we talk about like this the problematic Kawe Ndora Road, which has become uneven. So some spots, you know, quite well, you may be told that you should be driving at maybe 60 kilometers per hour on this stretch, but that does not mean that you should go to that speed. You should understand your vehicle and be able to drive at a speed that you feel you are comfortable, given the unevenness of the road.
Right. I saw a report, some recording on social media. I don't know whether it has been reported to the agency, or it's just one of those old stories where unregistered vehicle in transit, I think it should have been a Vitz, that hit into a stationary truck along the Chinsali Nakonde Road, somewhere there. I think it was something on social media, and the life was lost, which is a passenger, and the gentleman was doing a recording, indicated the driver had fled the scene. Maybe talking about this parking in undesignated places, broken down vehicles on the roads. What really should happen when a laden truck breaks down along a certain stretch? What warning signs should be there? We see people putting branches. You are lucky if they're branches, but they put actually huge rocks to indicate there's a breakdown.
Yeah.
What is the agency doing in such instances?
Yeah, basically, I think in situations where we have these breakdowns, and after assessing the situation, we see that no, maybe the position or the location where this breakdown has occurred from is not safe. We put in some measures ensuring that those so that we warn oncoming vehicles to either reduce speed and warning them of the impending danger ahead. But also it is important for such drivers to make sure that once, you know, because definitely when you are driving, a vehicle will not just come, boom, just like that it stops. No. It will gradually, it will show you that there's a problem. And at that point, you should start now preparing to park a vehicle in a right place which will not endanger other road users. But if you continue forcing it until it just gives up on its own, it stops on the road, then these are the problems that we are having, where you find someone stops on the road and you find that he doesn't even have triangles to warn other road users about a truck that has broken down, which is not right. But in any case, actually, it's an offense, because when a vehicle a vehicle should be parked off the road as far as possible on the right-hand side, and not on the road. And given a situation where it is not practical, then it is important to put triangles or other means of warning other road users that there's an impending danger ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that is just, of course, in line with what we are discussing today, stopping of buses, boarding and alighting of passengers. What made the agency think of this topic, talk about bus stops and bus stations? Why is this very topic very important for us today?
Thank you so much, Brother Julius. I think if you, I'm sure you've been driving around town, And you may have noticed that we have, well, congestion is something that is so much worrying, such that meetings, time and again, being held to plan on how to decongest the town. But you find that this has also been, made worse by the conduct of our drivers, particularly so minibus drivers, who are in the habit of, stopping anywhere on the road. You find a situation where the station is just nearby, the bus stop is just nearby. But what does he do? He will decide to stop on the road, away from the bus stop, just because he wants to pick a passenger who is going to pay him maybe a 10 kwacha, putting other people who are following him behind in danger, which is not right. And as an agency responsible for safety, will not sit down and watch people, behave as if there are no laws that are supposed. There are no laws that are supposed to guide, to regulate them. Will definitely swing into action and start taking serious serious measures against such people who behave in that manner.
All right. Or maybe just help us understand the difference between a bus stop and a bus station.
Okay. According to the Markets and the Bus Stations Act, number 7 of 2007, a bus station is defined as a place designated by a local authority as a regular terminal stopping place for buses, but does not include a bus stop. So meaning this bus station, it doesn't include a bus stop, and it is a place which is designated, it must be designated by the local authority as a regular terminal stopping point. So meaning the last stopping point for buses, whereas a bus stop is defined as a place on a bus route. These buses, as they move around, they have routes that they are supposed to use. But you find that, well, anyway, maybe without driving away from the definition itself, we are saying a bus stop is a place on a bus route designated by a local authority as a regular short-term stopping place for buses. That is for purposes of boarding and disembarking of passengers from the buses. But now coming back to the point that I wanted to raise, we've seen buses, use different routes that are not recognized by the local authority. Those routes, such as you find small buses using Independence Avenue. I mean, Church Road. Church Road is not a route for public service buses. But what do we see nowadays? You find buses using that road. That is not a route for buses. And as a result, even now, bringing the confusion from those places where they've been, where they are from those places, the routes that they are authorized. Now they are now bringing the confusion into these other places like Church Road, which, like I've said, as an agency responsible for making sure that these people are regulated, we will not sit down and watch them do that with impunity. We will make sure that we put things correct.
But just for argument purposes, I've boarded a bus, for example, from Kulima Tower, and then you find that Freedom Way is choked. There's no movement of vehicles whatsoever from south end to north end. The vehicles are not moving. And then bus drivers use, so to say, an initiative to come through Benbera Road, through the Curfew roundabout, through Independence Avenue, then at SDA traffic lights. They branch off. Isn't just that not to delay passengers the more, because if they follow the designated route, it will take forever for them to disembark. So in such an incidence, are the bus drivers breaking the law, or what should be done in such instances?
Definitely they are breaking the law by behaving like that. Now just look at it in this way. Having a situation where everyone will want to use that initiative, aren't we going to bring confusion? So we have confusion. We have a situation where
They have no alternative. Freedom Way, which is a designated route, your officers are not on the ground. The road is choked, one by themselves loading on the sides, and other motorists, their hardwares, wholesalers, offloading goods, and you find that one lane or two lanes totally closed and there's no movement. And then they are also in business and passengers have to move. So if there's a way that they can avoid that, can't you just give them a waiver to say, for purposes of this, the road is clogged, they can still use that route without causing confusions?
Well, I'm happy that you are saying the road. I mean, the road is actually blocked by themselves. So, and that blocking actually comes as a result of misconduct on the road. Yeah, you know, it's like they are the only ones that are busy. So, meaning that they don't take into consideration that there are other people that are using the road who are equally rushing for other issues. But then if we allow a situation where people can drive in any manner that they like because they are in a hurry, then we are creating a problem. So we should just exercise patience and let the flow of traffic and move according to the flow of traffic. But of course, it also goes to us as enforcement officers. Yes, we must make sure that we are on the ground and make sure that we regulate traffic accordingly, so that we don't have we don't create room for such misbehaving by minibus drivers.
Do you give the bus operators, or whose responsibility is it to let the driver know which designated routes or which ones are the designated roads? Is it a bus operator or the bus driver? How do you give this information to the road users?
Usually, there are some routes that are designated by the local authority to say people can use this route for purposes of this business of carrying passengers. And when they come to get a road safety license, they are also told, in fact, they even indicate the routes that they are supposed to use when they are they are carrying out their business. So yes, they are informed about the routes that they are supposed to use. But of course, like I said, with impunity, there are those that think, well, it's them that have that should always be in a hurry, and they don't consider other people, thereby starting now using routes that they are not supposed to use, which is a very unfortunate situation, and it should not be encouraged.
Okay. So now, are minibus drivers allowed to stop anywhere for purposes of just taking up or setting down a passenger? Like we are already taking that times they block roads to just pick a passenger. Even the manner in which they park at bus stops, you find that there's so much space ahead of them, but they will rightly just halfway, the front of the vehicle just by the bus stop, and then the rest of the vehicle is literally even just blocking the other lane. Are they allowed to conduct themselves in such manner? And if they are not, what is the agents doing? Because this is something that has been going on for a long time, and it hasn't been corrected.
You know, like we have, like I've indicated, I will probably start by answering the end of your statement. That in terms of the agents, I think we are doing everything possible, and these are some of like this program itself is one of those situations where we are doing what we could within our means to make sure that members of the public, I mean motorists, those that are listening, should be able to adjust their conduct and and behave in conformity with what is required on the roads. Now, coming to the issue of bus drivers stopping anyhow, whether they are allowed. Regulation 16, sub-regulation 1 of the rules of the road, regulation prohibits the driver to stop his motor vehicle for purposes of taking up or setting down passengers, except at a bus stop. So a minibus driver can only stop at which is not right.